It is so lovely to have you here with me today. Welcome. I'm going to be doing a short reading. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes because I combine it with a little meditation at the end so that we can really bring the energies of the cards within us. I do believe that the cards are always talking to us and what we can do within ourselves, and I use them for sort of like a self-empowerment tool and a self-development tool. So that's how the kind of language I use when I'm talking to the cards. I'll be pulling 3 cards today. Oh, and we already have 2 of them. We're starting off with the World card. What a fantastic card to get us started today. So what in the world is going on for you? And I ask you, because another word for this card is sometimes the universe. And so when we think of the universe, what's the U inverse? The kind of, I tend to think of what the outside world is showing you is everything that you haven't fully integrated within yourself. So it's showing up around you to give you a nudge to get you to explore and find your triggers and start to embrace those parts of you that you haven't fully done so yet. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but another way of saying it is, if you've got things showing up in your world that you're not happy with, then look within to try and solve them. See what they're mirroring, see what they're presenting for you and in what way, and explore that a little. And the other side of this World card is saying, wow, isn't it good to be alive? This woman is naked and she is dancing, because right now, what an amazing time to be here. Look at the excitement, the joy, the pleasure, the playfulness of being here in this world. Imagine and know that you have chosen to be here. So what in the world is that for you feeling like today? And sometimes the world can be a little bit isolating. We can start to feel that we're not really tapping in necessarily to all those around us. So today, have a think about that, and where can you start to feel into a little bit more connection. And the other card is, so I have to say this, but the work I do talks about the Tree of Life. It's a Hebrew, a Cabbalic sort of study. And the idea is it describes, the Tree of Life describes creation from the first kind of initial swirlings of God, how those swirlings come through these energy centers. They're called Sephiroth, and we arrive then at the fully sort of integrated version of the world. So the earth, things are brought down, heaven is literally brought down from heaven to earth, and this is a fulfillment of that. That fulfillment stage is the world, the end point, the goal has been reached. And I have just pulled the full card for you today. So this is right at the top of the Tree of Life. So this is the first swirlings, this kind of, this state of dissolving into nothingness, into the unity consciousness of God, whatever that feels like for you, source or the highest version of yourself. There is a lightness to this card and a freedom, and where the world can sometimes feel heavy, the Fool is as light as a feather. This chap is about to step off a cliff with not a care in the world. He's let go of everything. Look at how light his backpack is. He might be off on these massive great adventures, maybe into the remote sort of regions of the Himalayas, and he's just got a really light sort of pack on his back because he knows he's so close to God, to source, to whatever that is for him, that higher sense of self. He knows he's going to be provided for. A little bit like birds who don't sort of store things away for the winter. They just know that every day they'll get fed. So where can you step a little bit more into that lightness today, as well as knowing that heaven is here on earth? So I think these cards are also saying, you know, sometimes the Fool, people can get caught up with escaping this earth into a kind of form of spirituality, and where can we just spend more time with God? And the Tree of Life, and both of these cards are saying to us, yes, but where can we draw heaven down to earth? Where can we start to feel that heaven is going to be available to us right here, right now? Where can we step into that feeling today and do a little bit more of that? What amazing cards today. The World and the Fool card. Let's see what's coming out to sort of show us the two together and what that looks like. Those are two major arcana. So these are big kind of life archetypes that you can embody. Oh, yes, we have the Five of Wands here. So maybe you've got a bit of confusion going on. Maybe there's a bit of struggle right now in your life. There might be this is a card that's often in sort of a sense of conflict. There is kind of a winning. There is a kind of sense of victory sometimes, but at what cost? So is it worth the struggle? And so we can turn this struggle around within ourselves and say, okay, we could waste all this energy internalizing our problems and worrying about the outcomes and what may or may not happen, or this person said this, or this isn't happening for me now. We can take all that in and we can expend energy on it. Or with the Five, we're being invited to see, maybe instead of fighting, the infighting that we can have within ourselves, what could we build? What could we build right now? Maybe there's some foundations to put in. Maybe, yeah, there's something else we could do with that energy. And so when we have the World card saying, what in the world do you want today? Where are you going to take that energy that might be in conflict, right, where you might have some struggles going on, and turn that into something that is going to connect you to a much higher sense of purpose, a higher state of being, and a sense of real freedom and liberty. So what I'd like you to do now is to just close your eyes. I'm going to do a short meditation because we've got some big archetypes here to embody. So I'm going to help you to bring that in to your heart space today, into your body. So close your eyes and take some deep breaths. And I just want you to have a thought now of what's your world looking like? How are you feeling at the moment? What's showing up in your world? And if there's a bit of struggle going on, if there's some conflict, where can you find that struggle? Where can you find that conflict also within yourself? What would that look like if you could just let it go? And instead use the energy to build something, put some structures in place. Maybe those structures are thought patterns, mental kind of ways of overcoming seeming obstacles or things that are presenting themselves. Where can you start to celebrate life itself instead of seeing it as a struggle? Where can you go with the flow more? Step into that feeling. Imagine yourself dancing naked like the woman in the World card. Feel the freedom of that and the sensuousness and the abundance of just living every moment as if the whole world is here for you. And feel that freedom in your heart, the Fool card, as if just nothing matters. Nothing matters. Can you just for a moment let the weight of the world drop from your shoulders and fall away? Take some breaths in and out. Shake them off if you need to. Shake off those shoulders. Let it drop. Imagine whatever's bothering you at the moment, right now, for this moment in time, it just ceases to exist. How does that feel different? And what would you do differently if all those troubles were able to just melt away? Can you feel into that now? And don't forget the dog in the Fool, this playful companion reminding you of the joy of life. Just enjoy the moments, day to day, minute to minute. And this Fool card could fly. Imagine yourself now, your heart soaring. Could you literally take off so that you're in a position of stepping off a cliff and just knowing that you're going to fly? Stepping off a cliff with that quote in your mind, but what if I fall? But what if you fly, my darling? So feel that sun streaming onto your back, and then the day-to-day struggles, can they just melt away? Can you not concern yourself with them? Can you just turn your attention away from them? Let them dissolve into that sense of unity that the Fool experiences. Just let them go. And instead, what could you build from these struggles? What could you build instead? Where can you take control of this energy here and just channel it in a different way? A force for good, a force for feeling good, and a force for feeling freedom. So put a smile on your face. Feel your heart expand a little more. Take a couple more breaths. And then in your own time, wiggle your fingers and your toes, and you can open your eyes. So today, find what feels good. Feel into the freedom and let the little things go.